like to welcome every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for young men. And, do we really care? Do we talk care or do care? I think that's one of the hardest things for young men to do is to really care about other people. We tend to be, as young men, pretty selfish, pretty self-centered, self-absorbed. And so, you can practice, I think the more we do care, not talk it, but the more we do care, the better caring, more caring we get. And that serves you as a young man well. It does. When you're caring for other people, it just serves you well. And so one thing you can do with all the podcasts is share it with two other people. Again, this isn't just for young men, I think I'm a young man, but others may not, which is fine. So it's older men, it's young women, it's older women, and so share this with other people and, get their feedback on it. People don't have to agree. There's some things in here that you're going to not agree with. I'm not going to agree with. That's okay. Let's have a conversation. How do we have a spirited conversation about things and still be friends and connect? That'd be a good thing. All right. Kenny, what did you want to accomplish in today's podcast?
So I'm wondering, like in my head, I'd like to help out young men. I mean, I'm a young man myself, but I'd like to tap into even the younger guys, like 15, 16 years old, because I wish there's been a time when I wish I would have had somebody or somebody to help me when I was that age, when I was in that season of life. It seems like we're just at that point. That is when you have to become a man. It's like you can't be a little boy under your parents anymore. That's when you become a man. So I'd like to help tap into the even younger generation. I'm not sure, would it help to think about or share what we were doing or what we were thinking at that age from 14 to 16 maybe, and see if that helps the younger guys.
Got it. Nice. Anything else?
So I've noticed there's like, you seem to see a lot of significance in almost everything you do. Like, you were playing a game of spike ball and you shared with us like the amount of significance that you saw that night. So I'm just curious, how do we see significance even in moments that don't seem significant at all?
Wow. Yep, this one's going to be a great one. Those are two really powerful things. When my sons were younger, my three sons were younger, they would go ahead. We kind of came up with a game, and they would go ahead and say, "Hey, Dad, when you were 12, what were you thinking?" And then the one who was 15 would say, "Hey, Dad, when you were 15, what were you thinking?" And they could ask any age that they wanted to ask. And I would reflect back to that age and think about, okay, that age, where was I at in life? And so that's, very, very powerful. The other one on significance is equally powerful. So I like that a lot. Luke, what would you like to accomplish?
I'm not sure. I just think I want to learn something.
So, let's start off with, let's say I was 14 when I was 14 years old. My parents said that I couldn't date until I was 16. I think they were wise, and maybe they should have said, I couldn't date until I was 30. No, I'm just joking. And so, but at 14, I was in sports. I was in soccer in a private school. So it was a small small class. Small class, and I was playing soccer for the first time. I went ahead and actually was on the junior varsity team, but I was such a hustler out there on the field. I hadn't played before. Don't know that I was that good, but man, did I run, did I work hard. And so they actually put me on the varsity team. And so I got to play on the varsity team, which was really cool. Obviously, as a 14-year-old, really into girls. I mean, really being interested into girls, a lot,
Mhm.
a whole lot. And so looking forward to, driving. I had an older brother who was a year and a half older than I was. And so he was, when he was 16, so I was 14 and a half, and he was 16, he got his driver's license. And so, I mean, there's so many memories. There's just so many memories. And so, come from a larger family. So we had, 6 kids, 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Um, I was a hard worker, when I was probably 12, I went ahead and realized that I was, I was really an average, below average person. I mean, God told me that when I was 8, but at 12, 13, I'm like, I'm not that good in school, not that good in sports. My oldest brother, very athletic, very good in sports, and very smart in school. And I'm like, Mark, you want to be amazing. You want to accomplish at 14. I'm like, you want to accomplish a lot in life. To do that, so you're not that athletic and you're not that smart academically. So how are you going to make an amazing mark on your life? And I said, I'm gonna be a worker. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna work harder than anybody else. And so if they're better at sports, doesn't matter. I will still beat them. Like, I'll just work harder. If they're better in school, doesn't matter. I'll beat them. Like, there was something inside of me, and I was I was a shorter kid. And so, so there was something inside of me that, like, the testosterone started kicking in. And I started, studying. Listen to your mom a lot, big time. She can help you in ways you can't imagine. I remember when I was 9 years old, and my mom gave me the secret about women. And I remember, so women, and be nice to your mom, be considerate of your sisters. Be nice to your mom, be considerate of your sisters. And so my mom, I noticed so again, my dad and mom, pastor wife, and so didn't have a lot of money. I had enough, but my parents were very frugal, and I'm very appreciative of them for that. And so my mom, I noticed that she went ahead and liked sour cream and onion potato chips. So I had paper routes. I sold Christmas trees. I sold that. I was a little entrepreneur. Like, man, anything I could do. I'm like, that's how I'm gonna make. That's how I'm gonna be. I'm gonna own my own businesses. I knew that, and so anything I could do. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the money. It was just about the challenge. Like, I can do this. I can do good in business. Like, you know. And so I went ahead and so I noticed that my mom liked sour cream and onion potato chips, and so one day I went ahead and one day I went ahead and on the way home from school, I bought her with my own money. I bought her some sour cream and onion potato chips. And I came in again, I was 9 years old. I came in and I gave her the sour cream and onion potato chips. And I handed them to her. And she looked at me and knelt down and looked straight into my eyes, and she started crying. And I never forget my thought. I'm like, wow, women are weird. they're just weird. like, like, huh. Like it's not that big a deal. Because I thought, I thought, I thought, she does so much for me when you think about it. Like if you can't treat your mom well, if you can't treat your sisters well, don't deceive yourself. You're not going to treat a woman well. You're not going to treat your wife well. What does that mean? That's complicated. I'm only 59 years old, so I don't know what that means, treating a woman well. I mean, I do. Never ever, and I mean never ever physically touch a woman improperly. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. I'm telling you, the harm you will bring to that young lady is significant, but it's more the harm it will bring to you is more. You will damage yourself more than you will that young lady, I believe. And so that's another story, maybe for another time. But she looked into my eyes and she's crying, and I'm thinking, wow, women are weird. They're just weird. Like, wow, I don't even know what to do. Like, I didn't want her to cry. And then she looked into my eyes and she said, Mark, there's a woman out there a young lady out there you're gonna make the most amazing husband in the world because you're sensitive to women. Now, I'm a driver analytic personality. This is not the most sensitive personality in the world. Now, my mom, as I grew older, I told her this story. She says she didn't remember it, which was fine. But was she faking it? I mean, did she somehow know, maybe at a subconscious level, I'm going to take this really super aggressive guy that's really analytic. The driver analytic, my greatest strength is drive, assertiveness, make things happen. Greatest weakness is drive, assertiveness, make things happen. My greatest strength is, I like to dot my I's, cross my T's, make sure things are done properly in order. My kids think that I'm a machine. A lot of other people think, they're like, you are really a machine. You are not a human being. This personality that I have it's just not a sensitive person. It's just not. But my mom, at the age of 9, embedded something in me that made me a marshmallow, especially to my wife. Like the stories I could tell you, but you practice on your mom. You're considerate of your mom. You go ahead and listen to her. The things that she can tell you about women, and she is going to be your greatest ally. When you find that one, when you find the woman, because I'm telling you, you're a mess. You know this as a 14-year-old boy. You just know. Like my thoughts, what in the world am I thinking? Like, hopefully, what I was thinking, I'm like, I see women, I'm like, holy cow. It's like, but there's this battle inside of me. Like, I don't want to think inappropriately, but my mind, it just like my grandson, Daniel, our oldest grandson, I think he was 9 or 10, and he whacked his sister. Like he whacked his sister. I'm like, Daniel, why did you whack your sister? I don't know, Grandpa. My brain just went crazy. Oh, okay, I got it. I understand now. It's just, and I found out my brother Ken, he went ahead and said that my brother Dan, who is like a couple years older, hit him every day. Like every day, just hit him. And it's like my dad came by once and said, it's caught him hitting him. And he said, why are you hitting Ken? Dan's like, he was there. Like, what? like, and so there's all this stuff that's going on inside your body, and you don't know how to control it. You don't know how to discipline it. And it's a tough time. It's brutally tough. And so make the right choices, especially with girls. It will forge your mind and connect synapses in your mind that you can't even imagine. Like one poor choice will connect synapses in your brain that you'll never forget. And in the sexual area, you want that synapse to be your wife. I'm just telling you. 39 years of marriage. I'm just telling you, you want it to be your wife. And so, women like little things. Be considerate. Don't be stupid. Like your mom doesn't want to go ahead and push you, and don't mess with your dad. He brought you into this world. He can take you out. I mean, I'm just saying, like my eldest son, Jonathan, he died when he was 30, but he was like, I don't know, in his mid-20s probably. And he was 10 years older than his brothers, his two younger brothers. And he's in his mid-20s, tall, strong, built like an ox. The kid was just, and he told the younger ones, he's the younger brothers, don't mess with dad. He says, I know I'm bigger than dad, and I'm stronger than dad, but he'll kick my ass. I mean, there's some about dad power. So your dad, you don't understand your dad. You can like him, not like him, whatever. Like my dad, he and I were very different personalities. He was an amiable analytic, and I never really connected. He tried though, and I tried, but just never connected. But there's something where you want to please your dad, and you hate that. You hate that. You want to impress your dad. You hate that too. I didn't though. Why not? Probably because my brother, I had an older brother. So I was maybe a weird kid. I don't know. So I don't know how much of this is resonating to you if you're 14 or 13 or 15 or whatever you are in that age range. You're putting the foundation in place. You're putting the foundation in place. My mom said to me, probably around that age, she says, Mark, you're going to be working your whole life. You better learn how to enjoy it. And so learn how to enjoy work. Significance, what would I recommend on significance? Draw a circle, and then around that circle, list all your passions, everything you're passionate about. I believe in the center of your passions is your life vision, why you're put on this planet. And if you're a Christian or whatever your belief system is, I believe in God. And so that's how I was trained. I was raised as a Christian. And your life vision, I'm not saying it's not to please God or honor God or whatever it is. I'm not saying it's not that. It's just that's not very special, is it? Like there's 8 billion people out there. So you as a young man, you're starting to make your own way. You wanna step out from mom and dad, but down subconsciously you're terrified of it. You want to be an adult big time. You want all the privileges of an adult, but you don't want all the responsibilities. That sucks. Like, whoa. And so around all of your passions, and then you have your life vision. So my life vision that I discovered when I was 8, it was a gift given to me. And so my life vision is touch every single person in the world, make a huge difference in every aspect of their life in a really fun and exciting way. And yeah, it's 8+ billion people. That's my life vision. I mean, I that's very clear. Understand you have significance. As a young man, I just want to speak into you. We probably ought to have a part 2 to this, because I could talk about my son Jonathan, and how he was in the delivery room with when his youngest brother was born, and how that changed his perspective of women. I mean, the year after he did that, and so he would have been what, probably, I don't know, 12 or 13. He was, he was in the delivery room, but he was up at the head with me. So he didn't see the details because his dad wasn't real big about details either. But he was there and he experienced his mom giving birth. And the next birthday, his birthday, he gave a gift to his mom, my wife. He says, "Hey, Dad, I'm giving Mom a gift." I'm like, "Okay, that's kind of strange, but whatever." And then Rosanna asked me, she said, "Do you know why he did that?" I said, "I don't." She says, "Because he was in the delivery room." When you see the pain, the physical pain, when you experience the physical pain that your mom went through to bring you into this world, you have a respect for your mom and women in a way it's just crazy. And so, but get that life vision. Going back to significance, we could have a whole podcast on spike ball. Like if you're in the Bristol, Indiana area and you're playing volleyball, you should invite me. You think I'm some old overweight guy, I'll kick your butt. I'm telling you, I'm just saying that's probably why the Amish don't go out and invite me, because they're afraid of it. But no, in spike ball, we ought to do just one on that, because everything's in slow motion to me. Like, I don't know, why is it all significant? Because my life is significant. Like your life is significant. You are knit together in your mother's womb. Like you were created. Like I don't believe in evolution stuff. Like we just kind of came about. No, I believe we were intentionally created. You were created exactly how you are, and you're created not to be who you are now, but to be a better person. And that's what your mom and dad see in you, and they want to help you be that better person. Let them help them, encourage them. Like understand, there's so much that you don't know. There's so much that you don't know. Get other guys in, Kenny's age group and that are good guys that understand. Listen to them. They have scars, and they're part of life. You don't want any more than you need to have. You want as few as possible. And so, again, we could go on. There's so much, like my mind, like significance. When you find we want to be significant, but to be significant, like it's built within the very DNA of a man. He wants to be significant. He wants to stand out. But to be significant, you have to go ahead and do things that are significant. Do not waste your life. Don't waste your life. Video games, I'm telling you, energy drinks. Yeah. Don't even get me going on alcohol and vaping and weed and all that kind of stuff. Don't waste your brain. Like your brain is a beautiful thing. Your brain is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you are a beautiful man. You're an amazing guy. But you have to do that. You have to understand. I'm an amazing guy, yes, but you have to do that. You have to live that every day. If you're not living that every single day, you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to go ahead and feel weak. You're going to feel terrible. Good choices, good consequences. Bad choices, bad consequences. Do good things and you'll feel good. Do bad things, you will feel bad. You just will. Again, there's so many things. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, definitely register for the Life GPS. As soon as you do, you'll get assigned an art mentor. So a mentor that will help you, because that mentor in this group will help you so much. You'll help them, they'll help you. If you have any questions on anything we covered today, feel free to connect with the individual who invited you to participate, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300. Outside the US, 630-393-9909. If you want to text a question, that latter number, 630-393-9909, you can text a question and say, "Hey, I have a question for the Young Men's Podcast." Feel free to do that. On the website here, you can go ahead and, enter in questions, somewhere in here, right here. You can enter questions in here and we'll try to get to as many questions again. Share this with 2 other people. The mental health of young men. There's so many young men dying now, literally dying because of stupid choices, sad choices. And then there's so many mental illness and stuff like that, like suicide. And so these are choices that we make as young men. Be really careful who you hang out with. Be really careful. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully there's great questions, Kenny, today. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.